I've received very worrying advice from the Bureau of Meteorology, which indicates that Tropical Cyclone Anthony has now intensified and it has resulted in a cyclone watch warning being issued this afternoon. We expect that to be upgraded tomorrow to a cyclone warning with gale force winds on Sunday, and the likelihood now of a potential Category 3 cyclone crossing the Queensland coast as early as Monday morning. It's likely to cross the coast somewhere between Bowen and Cairns. That, however, is not the end of it. The Bureau is now watching with a great deal of concern a weather formation in just off the coast of Fiji, which it expects to be a potentially Category 4 or 5 cyclone. It is making its way westward and at this stage could hit the Queensland coast anywhere north of Gladstone as early as next Thursday. So on a worst case scenario, Queensland could see both two tropical cyclones cross the coast in the matter of 3 or 4 days next week. Now we know, if you've lived in Queensland for a long time, that tropical cyclones are notoriously temperamental, and it's possible that both of them could de-intensify and go in another direction. But right now, all of the Bureau of Meteorology's models indicate that there is very high likelihood of two tropical cyclones crossing the coast of Queensland Monday and Thursday or Friday of next week. In light of that, I have reactivated the State Disaster Management Group, and it will meet again for the first time this afternoon at 5 o'clock. Many of you will know that the State Disaster Management Group elapsed last Friday in relation to the floods that we had seen across Queensland. It is today being reactivated to ensure that we are both prepared and ready to respond to what may be quite serious situations. In a similar vein, Deputy Commissioner Ian Stewart was this afternoon reappointed as the State Disaster Management Coordinator across Queensland. Ian will lead the emergency preparedness work that will now happen over the next couple of days. So I might invite Ian to make some comments about the work that he's already started today.
Thank you, Premier. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we have already activated our DDCs across the state, so they are the superintendents in charge of those districts that are likely to be affected, and they are basically from Gladstone to Cairns. They will be meeting with their local counterparts in local government. The local disaster management groups are already alert and active in relation to this latest threat. We certainly don't want to panic people. That is not the purpose of this. It is simply to make sure that Queensland is as well prepared as possible for any likely impact of the storms that are ahead of us. Certainly I'd be asking people to think about stocking up on essential items, but there is no need for panic buying. Make sure that they have fuel in their vehicles. Items in their yards, around their houses that could become missiles are put away or tied down.
Both of these systems could also bring substantial rain across the coast and into other catchments. So it's not only the cyclonic event that we'll be concerned about, but whether, as we saw with Cyclone Tasha on Christmas Day, there is related flooding in other parts of Queensland. So we are battening down the hatches once more. We hope that both of these weather formations disappear out to sea somewhere, but on all current modelling, the Bureau's best advice is that the most likely outcome is for both of these cyclones to cross the Queensland coast next week, and we have to be ready for that possibility. That is why the State Disaster Management Group is now meeting as of this afternoon, and we have our local disaster groups activated right up the Queensland coast. Obviously, as these cyclones get closer, we'll be able to have a better sense of where the most likely crossover points are. With Tropical Cyclone Anthony, the Bowen to Cairns area is the most likely. The weather formation in the off the coast of Fiji has not formally been declared a cyclone yet, although that's what it's forming into, and it's doing so very rapidly, I understand. It's up to the Fiji government to name it. I understand when it is declared a cyclone, it'll be named Yasi.
Can Queensland cope with two big storms like this now in light of the floods?
Queensland, I think we've seen over the last 4 to 5 weeks, has a sensational team out there at the front line of our emergency response. We're very grateful that we've had a lot of teams from other states in here giving our emergency responders, whether it's police, emergency rescue or fire and rescue, giving them a rest. They are ready to respond if we do see these events. Obviously, like every other Queenslander, I hope we are spared, but we are well prepared if this is what eventuates.
Patrick just spoke over you. What did you say the cyclone hit you was lucky name?
Yasi, Y-A-S-I.
How potentially big and nasty is that second system?
The Bureau of Meteorology advises me that they are more worried about the second system in terms of its size and its likely impact. It is, according to the Bureau, a very large cloud formation likely to bring very substantial amounts of rainfall, and at this stage could be a Category 4. By way of comparison, the most recent cyclone that Queensland saw was Cyclone Elui that crossed the coast at Airlie Beach last year. That cyclone was a very low Category 3. And if you recall, it did take roofs off some houses, caused substantial damage to the marina and massive crop damage.
Have you had sort of any preliminary advice as to how much damage these two storms, back to back can cause, or is that just impossible to tell?
It's impossible to tell. It depends. Obviously, it depends on where it crosses the coast. If it crosses in an area of large population and development, then it's potentially a very serious event. If it crosses somewhere that's quite remote, well, it'll be less of a problem. And at this stage, we have to be prepared for anything, and we are.
But the rain that's likely to come with them as well, have you any idea how far that can extend?
No, I'm sorry. At this stage, we are still, as I said, the warning this afternoon that will be issued by the Bureau is a cyclone watch, upgrading to a cyclone warning tomorrow. So you will begin to hear cyclone sirens tomorrow on radio, unless this system has a dramatic change overnight.
How worried are you that there'll be more serious flooding?
These are two very worrying weather events. I am very concerned if we see two such events come across the Queensland coast. Not only that we may see serious damage at the point where they cross, but that there may be subsequent flooding into other catchments further away from where they cross. Cyclone Tasha that crossed the Queensland coast on December 25th was a Category 1 cyclone. And you've seen the devastation that has been wrought ever since. So we need to understand that this is, we were given warnings in October that we were in for a very difficult wet season. We are a long way from that wet season being over. I hope that next week goes without any event, but on the current predictions and modelling of the Bureau, that is unlikely, and we have to be prepared for it. Okay.
Premier, just out of interest, the Cabinet's supposed to be up in FNQ on Sunday week. Will that go ahead?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. At this stage, I think it's important that we plan as normal, because all of those small businesses and motels and others have bookings, and we don't intend to be jumping the gun. But clearly, we'll have to wait and see.
When will there be updates? Will you get some more updates?
The State Disaster Management Group will be meeting at Kedron at 5 p.m. this evening. You can get overlay if you want of that meeting. If there was any updates that I'd be happy to provide that to you after the meeting, and that'd probably be sometime after 6 o'clock. Unless there's some dramatic change this afternoon, I think that's probably what I've given you, but this formation in the Fijian area is moving quite quickly, so there could be some further information from Jim Davidson, who may be available. He's coming to the State Disaster Management Group. Yes, I will.